Hey gang, John Notary, General Manager and Footwear Buyer at Aardvark Sport Shop in Bethlehem. And I want to take a couple minutes today to talk to you a little bit about the importance of choosing the right running or walking shoe for your activity and how we at the store go about making that match. So as you can tell, there's a lot of options here. The best thing that we can do as a staff for you as an individual is to help narrow that scope down a little bit and line you up with the models that are most specifically designed to your individual needs. And so I'm going to share a little bit with you about how we go about making that match and taking you through that process. So everybody here at the store has been trained to take customers through a standardized fitting process. And with that process, there's a number of steps that we'll take you through to ensure that we can make the absolute best recommendations for you as an individual. The very first thing that we typically do after welcoming you into the store is we will ask you a bunch of questions. What are your activity goals? What is your current routine looking like? Have you had any injuries or issues in the past that would be important for us to know about and address in our approach? And once we're done asking you some of those questions, we'll start formulating in our minds a better path or a better course of action in addressing those needs. From there, we will measure you. We do still use the old-fashioned but never out-of-date Brannick device. We use this to measure the length of your foot, the width of your foot, as well as your arch length. And there are a lot of valuable bits of information we get from measuring your foot in kind of that old-fashioned way. From there, we will have you do some more physical assessments. Typically, we'll have somebody walk away from us about 10 to 12 paces, turn around and come back. And then we will have you do kind of a half squat type motion to get a better sense of what your feet and your ankles are doing in motion. There's a lot that we can learn about your natural mechanics from those two assessments. Do your feet pronate or roll inward a bit? Do you have a slight tendency to do the opposite and supinate or rotate out? Are you that perfect Goldilocks foot and have things just right to where they stay perfectly neutral? The goal of our fitting is to get you to that neutral position. Neutral position means our body's in its most natural alignment, the impact angles and just the natural path of motion will lead to the least amount of wear and tear on your joints as you move through that running or that walking motion. After we've done those initial assessments and those measurements, we will then move on to the fun part, which is getting to try the shoes on. So we'll go in the back and we will pull probably 3 to 4 pair of the roughly 3,000 pairs of shoes that are in the back out to you, and we will have you try them on. We do like to use these fitting stools to lace them up so we get a sense of how the shoe is fitting you. If you step into the shoe real easily and aren't pushing me away on the stool, that's a good sign that we have the right size. One thing I do want to touch on at this point in regards to sizing is typically the sizes we recommend will be a half to a whole size larger than what you measured on the Brannick. And the reason being, we want there to be plenty of room for your foot to spread and splay and be nice and relaxed in that shoe. That is one thing that a lot of people do mistakenly, is wear a shoe size that is too small for the walking or the running activity that they're doing. Once we have the shoes laced up, now it's more up to you to decide which ones feel best. We have a treadmill that you're more than welcome to test them out on. On nice days, we send people out onto the beautiful main street of downtown Bethlehem and they can test them out there. And inside the building, they are quite used to us running around, walking around out in the hallways with shoes on as we test them out. Once you come back and start to rule certain models in or certain models out, we will double check the fit, make sure you have that thumbnail width of dead space at the front of the shoe and enough space around the perimeter of the shoe to make sure that your feet will not get to a point where they are too cramped or constrained by the shoe. And at that point, it's more a matter of you deciding which one felt the best to you. And from there, you get to then take them out and use them for your activity. And we really just want to be a part of the process. That's wanted to share how we go about fitting you for shoes and the reasons it's important to avoid some of the common injuries, plantar fasciitis, knee pain, classic runner's knee, walker's knee, some hip pain. Getting you in the right type of shoe does a really good job of minimizing the stressors that have led to problems. So looking forward to seeing you guys, looking forward to working with you, being a resource for you throughout this process, and excited to hear all of your stories as you guys go about this journey. Thanks a lot.